What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about Old Republic Book 1 Revan by Drew Karpyshyn. So before we get started with the video, I do want to let you guys know that if you like my shirt, then you need to check out the Story Geeks podcast. They are super awesome, they're good friends of mine, and they have a lot of amazing content. I'm going to leave a link for you guys down in the description down below. So it's really not hard to figure out why I wanted to read this book. It's not canon anymore. It takes place about 4,000 years or so before the events of A New Hope, but does that not look like Kylo Ren? So this is part of the Star Wars expanded universe, which means that it is not technically canon anymore now that Disney has purchased Lucasfilm. But what's interesting about it is that I have heard a lot about the story of Revan and Bastila. And if you don't know who those people are, what's interesting about them is that they're from the Knights of the Old Republic game. And Revan is a character who goes on this amazing journey of, like, he falls to the dark side, he's redeemed, Bastila falls to the dark side, he redeems her. It's like this huge, amazing story. I highly recommend you look it up if you don't know anything about it. It's really, really cool. But this book picks up after that. It's a couple years after, like, all of those events, and him and Bastila are married, they've settled down, and the prologue of this book is just so freaking cute. It's so domestic and they're adorable, and let me just tell you, the descriptions, Revan and Bastila, it's Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver. I'm not kidding. But as far as the story goes, this book is called Revan, but really it's about, like, this new stirring of the dark side. So, like, they've saved the Old Republic from this, like, great, like, Sith threat or whatever, but there's another one stirring. Revan is having all of these dreams, and he knows that something is going on. He's lost his memories from when he fell to the dark side, and he wants to figure out what's going on. He wants to, like, bring them back. So he goes on this amazing quest to find the place that he's been dreaming about. And the place that he's been dreaming about is actually this planet that is the capital of the Sith Empire. And what's happening is the Emperor of the Sith has been planning for a long time to invade the Republic, and that's kind of what he's been figuring out. But we also have a lot of other characters too. This story is told from Revan's perspective, but it's also told from Lord Scourge. I'm not exactly sure how you say his name, but he's a Sith Lord, and he is on this, like, planet, and he's infiltrating, like, all of these plots to overthrow the Emperor and that kind of stuff, and he's the one where we're really getting, like, all of this information that Revan's going to find out later. And it's interesting to see how that plays out, and this book takes place over the course of, like, several years, and there's actually a really big time jump, like, towards the end of this book, and it's really, really interesting. I did really like it, but the problem is that it's a huge info dump, and there's a lot of action going on, and I bet if you've actually played, like, the Knights of the Old Republic, or if you actually know about the EU, this book is probably really tedious and annoying to read because of the info dump. This author is just telling you so much stuff. He just will, like, sit down and will have, like, pages of, like, not actually any plot. He's just telling you things that, like, you need to know. And to me, I found that really fascinating because I don't know anything about this time period or any of that kind of stuff, so I liked it, but I could see how that would, like, really get on people's nerves. And I know for people that have played the game, they tend to not actually like this book, so that's probably why. But then we also have a lot of action sequences, which to me, I just personally find kind of boring. So towards the end of this book, I was skimming, which is bad, but I mean, I don't need to read exactly how all of these moves are done to know what's going on in a fight scene. It just got a little bit boring for me. I also have a big problem with this book, and it's that Bastila is kind of shoved to the side. Like, we don't get her hardly at all. I honestly feel like you could have traded her out with one character in particular and it would have been better. I understand why that's not what happens, but I really wish that it was. And honestly, what I was wanting was Revan and Bastila, so that's why I went and I read a whole bunch about them, because that's not really what this book is for. This book is to kick off a trilogy where the Sith Emperor is going to launch an attack on the Old Republic, which I'm probably not going to read the rest of the series because I don't really care about that plot. I'm interested in it, like, I'd be interested to read the rest of the series, but what I was in this for was the Revan stuff, which was really good. what I would say is if you don't know anything about the EU, you don't know anything about Revan or his story, this is a good read. I did really like it, and honestly, like, there are so many things. I'm pretty sure this was the inspiration for the sequel trilogy. Not this book in particular, but Revan's story. I'm pretty sure that was the inspiration for the sequel trilogy, and it was just making me freak out. So I do recommend reading this book. I am only giving it a C+. Like I said, the pacing is kind of weird. The way that it's structured is a little bit weird, so I know that some people will find that frustrating. If you're willing to stick it out, it is a cool read, but it definitely won't be for everyone. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything I got for today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!